National Weather Service has issued a blizzard warning.
Visibility in southern Wisconsin is being measured in phone poles.
Now the wind has kicked up.
Dairyland drifted under more than a foot of blowing snow. Oscar Sanchez told us he has a difficult time with his English, but it didn't take many words to explain the circumstances that put his car in the ditch.
Whoa!
With the help of some kind men who stopped to help, Oscar is still hoping to get to work.
Push!
Many southern Wisconsin employers didn't even bother.
Everything's closed up pretty much. The Wisconsin State Patrol could not say loudly enough, stay off the highways.
Enough gets to be enough. It's just too much stress.
Russ Rand didn't need a trooper to convince him to take a 20-hour respite.
Couldn't see the road.
Not with so precious a cargo.
I've got Wisconsin cheese on. What else do you pick up in Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Oscar Sanchez didn't share a common language with the guys who saved him a tow and a day's pay. Just the universal bond of the upper Midwest. Boyd Hooper, KARE 11 News, Verona, Wisconsin.
This is a serious situation, and it is only going to get worse.
A glimpse of urban chaos from just one intersection in Colorado Springs.
7129 Silver Torch Terrace.
The out-of-control Waldo Canyon fire sets its sights on the Mountain Shadows neighborhood.
It's just enormous.
As it draws closer, roadblocks separate loved ones during an unimaginable moment.
Can I run up there? God, please, how do I get to her?
I'm sorry.
Do you know how I get to her?
My husband is home and doesn't have a car.
If you have any friends in the neighborhood, call them to grab their stuff. Okay?
Nobody has a key. That might be up there.
I don't know what to tell you. I cannot let you up there right now.
When I was counting them, there were like 13 ridges on fire.
Bobby Romero can't get a hold of his sister-in-law.
I'm just praying a lot, praying a lot.
The lifelong Springs resident always feared a fire could come this close.
I don't want this to come any closer.
At the same intersection, evacuees are showing up at an animal hospital to evacuate their pets.
Oh, baby. He's gonna have to find a new home today.
As evacuees and their pets leave the neighborhood, the uncertainty is as thick as the billowing backdrop.
We just need people's prayers, and we just need their good positive energy to get us through this really tough time in our lives.
It's been kind of rough, but we're hanging in there. We're doing the best we can. My name is Cindy Black, and my son's name is Jonathan Rollins. And we got here Wednesday night around 4:30. Hot. So he's cranky. Sometimes he's cranky. But it's okay. We want to play. This is Jonathan's older sister, Krista. I'm the oldest. And we came because we got evacuated twice. So after we got evacuated twice, we had nowhere to go. We don't know if our house is burnt down. It's not confirmed yet. Our new home, it starts here and it goes to right here. There's 5 of us. There's my daughter Krista, she's 10. My son Isaiah, he's 6. And this is where Jonathan sleeps. And this is, hold on. This is my bed, and this is my husband's bed. I wouldn't make it without my family. Huh?
Never really worried about the fire, but if it burns a house, it's a house. It's just stuff.
Soon it'll get better. Well, like, I'm just praying. Soon it'll get better.
Election night victory parties are supposed to end with crescendos. Marriage amendment opponents started with one. Festive atmosphere, a presidential election that went their way. Yet stomachs tied in knots.
It's been my outlet for stress.
The knitters, Joanna Campbell and Tanya Halsey, were married in 2008 in California. Any hope of gaining marital status back home would be dashed if the marriage amendment passed.
If it doesn't go our way, we want to be with other people who are going to kind of be in the same place we are.
No state's voters had turned back a marriage amendment push.
We are on the verge of making history.
Nor would this one come easily.
It's 1:03. Sit tight. I want to be here to make sure that I was part of history.
Then at 1:45,
88% in.
a marriage announcement.
Tonight, Minnesota proved that love is bigger than government. We got here today after 18 months of hard work.
We won! We did it! We did it! We did it!
Needles down, crescendo, back on.
It's amazing to have somebody, for once, a bunch of somebody's not say you're less than.
Boyd Hooper, KARE 11 News, St. Paul. In Sherburne County, Elk River is the county seat. In Elk River, Holt Avenue and 5th Street Northwest is the love seat.
So I took one look at him and I said, I'm going to marry him. I did, really.
She just knew a good thing when she saw it, that's all.
Wally and Gail Fox have been side by side in matrimony for 52 years. In many neighborhoods, that's deserving of a seat of honor. But on the Fox's block, theirs is a common bond.
We've been married for 52 years.
Kathy and Hartley Dahl were 17 and 20 when they tied the knot.
He's a good man. He works hard. And he cares about me, I know. He'll go.
Tied the knot in a rope that extends 4 doors down.
It's been a wonderful life with my beautiful bride.
Where Henry and Marion Tembrock have also been cooking for 52 years.
Wonderful. Great cook. That's why I have a little extra weight on me.
I didn't put it in your mouth.
And they're just warming up.
I'm Don Coder, and this is my wife Joyce. We've been married 65 years and we're going to be 66 years in August. We're from the old school. Really old.
Bye-bye. See
ya.
Bye-bye.
On this block, not old enough.
How are you today?
Good. February 12th, 1942.
Today, Pearl and Ralph Stahlberg are marking 70 years.
Happy as could be.
Just like we were in our right minds.
See you now. Celebrating in a neighborhood where marriage still means something. A spatula-shaped block, home to 6 couples committed to each other for more than 50 years.
Okay.
For better.
We were married in 1947.
Or for worse.
But she was my sweetheart then and still is, no matter what the circumstances are.
Roger Osby met his wife Hannah in high school. They've been married 64 years.
Hannah, you love me? Huh?
Alzheimer's means Hannah must stay in a nursing home now.
Are you tired, Hannah?
But every day Roger still sits with her.
And?
Before he goes home and sits alone.
Do I still love her? Well, I'll tell you, I think when something like this happens where they're vulnerable, it's even deeper, the love you have for each other. It is for me.
Perhaps there's something in the water in this neighborhood of love.
Oh, yeah.
Or love in the air.
Hi, come on in.
With our nation's fabric ripped by divorce, 6 couples on the same block
Here we go, Mom.
have kept their unions intact for more than half a century through love and hard work. And even when life
earliest days
deprives them of a kiss.
Oh, hey, neighbor.
Love
Bless you.
finds a way.
Are you serious?
Hey, Roger.
I want to say they're all on Hannah's approved list, otherwise I couldn't be happening.
And for all you newlyweds watching, we couldn't help but notice the house 2 doors down the street. Feel free to sit for a while, maybe 50 years. Boyd Hooper, KARE 11 News, Elk River.
I wash my dishes, then I sit down.
When Red Wing turns to the dark side of the earth,
It's nice time.
a light comes on
No,
in Nada Peters.
I don't get tired.
So much she has seen in the 87 years
My father, my mother,
since her birth
my sister, baby, and me.
in Yugoslavia.
I was the oldest one.
Since Nada's introduction to the visiting 50-year-old Minnesota bachelor,
Outside of the church.
whom she would wed 2 weeks later.
I say, why not? I'll go to America.
So much has changed since Nada learned English.
I'll be doggone.
By watching TV.
Look, we've been here all night. There's nobody here but us.
Day after day, you learn one word, and then you learn another word, and you put them together, and you make a phrase.
But when day turns to dark,
And I have to see where I am.
the nights still belong to Nada
I'm right here.
and her hands.
It's an old monastery, very old monastery. Looks like a picture, no? We used to go every summer up there. Then I thought, gee, I better make one picture of something from back home. And maybe I'll send it to one of my brothers.
4 months of work, you'd think she'd be entitled
There is the church up there.
to keep a cross-stitch for herself.
Thank you.
Nada chance.
Madonna and a child. And it took me 1 year to make that one. I don't have the money to give too much money to the church, but God gave me the gift, so I thought I'll do something. I believe in God. I believe in Christ. I thank God every day for everything.
Just 4'9".
Yes.
And Nada has taken on God's work.
Yeah. It's incredible. It really is.
Bob and Renee Exner were still grieving the death of their 19-year-old son when the stitched portrait arrived from a woman they didn't know.
I felt sorry because they lost a boy, young boy.
Harry was a few months into college in Colorado when he stepped accidentally in front of a light rail train. Told of the Exner's loss, Nada worked through the night for 4 months to stitch a portrait of a boy she'd never met.
But I said prayer for him. You know what I mean? So God can take him and take care of him.
I mean, she's just a magical person, I think. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad she came. Oh, I'm so
The kind of person
Come on, go see the picture.
who earned the hug she received this week when some of her gifts came back
That one took me 2 years.
for a little show of her work at her retirement community.
Hey, you button in line?
Oh, Dr. Blee! Oh!
Surgeon Tom Blee didn't know Nada either
Oh, is that beautiful?
before she delivered a portrait of his sons
God bless you. I say prayer all the time.
as a thank you
Yeah.
for removing her colon cancer.
I can fix people, but you heal people. That's what I say.
Now I have to change color.
The night belongs to a woman still up when Jay Leno is lights out, holding tight to a needle and her beliefs.
Everybody's got something to give.
Sleep well, Red Wing, for the angel in your midst is still awake. Boyd Hooper, KARE 11 News, Red Wing.
We'll get you to do it here as we go.
Like many of his 16-year-old classmates,
Hang on.
Jack Jablonski is learning to drive.
So you're going to take over from here, okay?
It's his first day in his new wheels, and even better, his left hand is steering.
Catch you a little bit here, okay?
All right, I'm ready. I'm fine. And then 3, right?
Yep, on 3, Jack.
One of the ups for Jack.
3.
this past week.
There we go.
That will help him deal with the downs.
I haven't really seen him do this on his own yet.
Earlier in the day, Jack used his shoulder muscles to balance himself upright for the first time.
Down with your shoulders, Jack. There you go.
Just 40 seconds.
Yep.
Watching him sit up by himself is huge. Come on, round your shoulders forward.
But by afternoon, he was gutting out.
Come on, Jack.
3 minutes.
There we go.
Then 4.
Nice job. You know, we met with the doctors this morning, and they're blown away by what they're seeing already. I mean, he's just doing things that we didn't think he'd do. So it's exciting. You got it.
But then Jack has always been a physical overachiever. Take last season, when Jack led his Bantam A team by scoring 50 goals.
Left hand forward.
But that came easy
All the way to your lap.
compared to this.
Don't help me. I want to try
I'm
it.
not. Go. Left hand up, over to your lap. There you go. Nice job.
Progress means
Want the water?
hope.
All right, if I'm doing this so quickly and I'm not supposed to be doing this at this time, what could I be doing a month down the road?
Tissue that's in there at the spinal cord is substantially damaged.
Dr. Carl Sandin, physician-in-chief at Sister Kenny Rehabilitation Institute, says Jack's youth, athleticism, and psychological strength
All right, let's get back on that chair.
are all working in his favor.
I'm ready.
Yet no one can be certain what comes next.
So it's really our job in rehabilitation to make sure that we are setting up the possibility of every future success that may come to somebody.
Pain.
Ups and downs.
So you'll get 2 milligrams of the Valium.
For just that quickly, Jack's good days can turn.
What do you like your pain at right now?
9.
This is not our favorite time of day. The damaged nerves are confused, and they send mixed messages, and he gets hot and then he gets cold.
I don't know, I just try to stay calm and relaxed. Sometimes I can get through it easily like that.
He's been very courageous over the last 5 weeks.
Tougher is good for you.
That determination is nothing new
By himself.
to Jack's family.
You know, we never lost Jack. His personality, and attitude has stayed the same.
Come on. 10.
3 more.
Ups and downs.
11.
This is life now for Jack Jablonski
12. One last. Go.
as he regains his strength with a drive
Nice.
that's never left.
Try to get back to normal again so I can be a normal teenage high school kid again.
The visiting St. Cloud Rocks are barely off the bus at Alexandria's iconic stadium when the final member of the home team
Come back now.
emerges.
Called Alexander Beatles.
Bernice Wagner is the name her parents gave her
That's where I used to park my bike. Bernie. How are you, Bernie?
before
Good,
baseball
Scott.
baptized her
That's my nickname, Bernie.
with another.
Thank you, Bernie. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Canute Nelson Memorial Ballpark for tonight's ball game.
Yeah, Bernie. You see Bernie for the first game, and you know that the season's about to start.
See her?
Boy, John! John's had a home run!
Try hear her.
John's had a home run! Yeah, John!
From her perch up the left field line,
Yeah!
Bernie chirps
Catch it! Come on, Beatles!
like a bird hungry for dinner.
Get out of there! Get out of there!
College League, town teams, Legion, VFW, high school, and Little League.
Get them both! Get them both!
If there are ducks on the pond,
Yeah!
Bernie is here.
If you're from Alexandria and you've played a game of baseball, you know who Bernice Wagner is.
Team manager Drew Saberhagen not only welcomed Bernie on the team bus twice this year for road trips, but bought her a new radio so Bernie could listen to the Twins while she roots for the Beatles.
Baseball's my sport.
How many fans can say they've been given their own key to the stadium since Bernie was here anyway?
This is garbage.
The team hired her to clean it.
It's a nice start out there. Looks like it'll be another nice day.
When the new owner took over,
Go, Betcha!
Sean Riley got the Beatles and Bernie both.
Pretty much. Package deal.
Come on, let's get them out.
And the St. Cloud Rocks are down to their final out.
Put your hands up the air.
Few here even know of the high fever as an infant that altered Bernie's life.
Yeah!
Doesn't matter.
The Alexandria Beatles are 12-9 winners.
We're safe for Brandon.
She wants to be a part of the team, and all the guys get it.
Hey, Bernie.
Later tonight,
How you doing?
she'll bike back to her apartment.
Hey, sit. We get number one win. Yep, thank you.
But Bernice Wagner
Yep, you're welcome.
Love you.
is already home.
Did you have fun tonight?
I had fun today.
Boyd Hooper, KARE 11 News, Alexandria.
I'll be there tomorrow 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock in the morning? Come on now, Chef. Let's go. Come on, buddy.
They say dogs are man's best friend.
Nice waves today.
John Unger and Shep are proof of that.
It's choppy.
Their friendship started when John adopted Shep from a shelter as a puppy 19 years ago.
That's how long I've had him.
Turns out Shep wasn't the only one who needed to be rescued.
He's been my guardian for a number of years.
Time has given them memories.
Basically, hind legs.
But it has also taken a toll on Shep's body.
This joint right here kind of freezes up.
Arthritis and hip dysplasia have settled into Shep's joints.
I always leave my glasses on.
The only comfort now is a routine that keeps Shep off his feet.
Okay, here we go. This is living. It just takes the weight off of his whole entire body, so whatever aches and pains are there, it helps alleviate those.
With no pressure on his body, Shep quickly falls asleep in peace. Sometimes they do this for hours.
I think this is heaven, actually. Whoa. Yep, that was a big one, wasn't it, buddy? Huh?
John is careful with every minute. He's not sure how much longer Shep will be around.
This is a good wave today. These are great waves.
But Shep has a best friend in John, who promises to be there till the end.
This is pretty amazing that I still have him with me.
In Bayfield, Bourgeon, KARE 11 News.
You want to wake up? Not yet?
I've been coming here since I was probably in middle school.
Interstate Park lies at the western edge of Wisconsin. But here, photographer Kelly Baki finds her center.
This place to me really means peace and comfort. I like sun flare.
Kelly has always been happiest taking pictures of nature till she became what you might call
All right, ladies.
a nurture photographer.
Ready, go.
These four friends for life and this soccer player and this runner are part of Kelly's positive spin on anti-drug messages.
I think I would love to be able to take every student in the school that wanted it to be done.
The display at Unity School in Balsam Lake first went up in November after Kelly asked students to just say yes
Fun to snowboard.
to their anti-drug.
I've been a Harry Potter fan for as long as I could remember. Well, I like to skateboard in the summer. It's really fun to draw, and then it's fun to color it.
I personally think it works because it is personal and it makes people look inside themselves to find out what is important to them.
Be it dance or music or football.
It makes me feel really energetic.
An anti-drug is that thing that brings one a healthy high.
I eat, sleep, and dream basketball, basically.
It's something I like to do to keep my mind off of things.
Now a display that was supposed to be temporary
Right.
is instead being expanded
Where do you want us?
to include the anti-drugs of school secretaries and teachers.
Travel. I would say travel would be my anti-drug.
We need to take the middle out of one of the entrance doors.
There we go. Just hope this doesn't get back to the superintendent of schools.
I'm the district administrator, the superintendent of schools.
Oh, well.
Do you smile when you drive?
I do. Despite all the participants,
Right.
no one appreciates more than Kelly the importance of an anti-drug.
It was just that Christmas when he passed away.
It was Kelly's high school sweetheart, Eric, who first got her into photography. He proposed marriage after college on Christmas Eve, 1998, then died in a car crash 2 days later.
I knew what it would be like to die of a broken heart. And to get away from that, I cut myself, and immediately after I did, I felt that relief.
Kelly's drug became a kitchen knife.
There's a couple.
The fading scars are reminders of her unhealthy escape from her emotional pain.
That definitely was the lowest part of my life, yes.
Oh.
It was Kelly's father who had first taken her to Interstate Park and who eventually helped her to find her anti-drug when she picked up her camera again.
Having him continue to tell me, push forward and do the things you love. This is definitely my anti-drug.
Picked up
Yes.
her camera, rediscovered love, and gave birth to two beautiful girls who are now part of that display at their school.
I think it makes kids realize that there's plenty of stuff to stand between them and drugs.
Plenty of things can stand between kids and drugs. At Unity School, one of them is Kelly Bakke.
Oh, very nice. It's about making healthy, good choices in life and finding what makes you the best.
Boyd Hupert, KARE 11 News, Balsam Lake, Wisconsin. At various times in our lives,
Good girl.
many of us find ourselves searching.
That's a good girl.
Sometimes intently.
When I found out that I had cancer, they told my family to go ahead and start planning my funeral.
Diagnosed with stage 4 head and neck cancer 3 years ago.
Walk nice.
Then let go from his propane delivery job.
It's almost like it's a nightmare that you can't wake up out of.
Greg Thomas began passing the hours on long walks from his home.
Oh, look at the sun's coming up, Mags.
Alone with his dog and his thoughts.
That sky look beautiful, huh?
On a gravel road that led him here.
And this is where I would come.
Though Greg would have loved to go inside, the doors on the old Catholic church were locked tight.
I tried it more than once.
Built in 1868 by Czech settlers who later moved to a bigger parish in Montgomery, the church had not been home to a congregation in more than a century.
Really rough shape.
The foundation was crumbling, the paint peeling. But it was here Greg Thomas, crumbling himself, came to pray. Till one day,
Did you say your prayers this morning?
the stranger on the steps
Yep.
walked next door.
He went to the neighbor and said he'd like to paint the church. Who does he talk to? So the neighbor sent him to talk to me.
As treasurer of the foundation that keeps up the church cemetery, John Rinda could barely believe it. Before Greg started work 3 years back, Don had feared the church's days were numbered.
It was a godsend, yes. No doubt about that.
140 years worth of paint, 15 layers thick in places, came peeling off as Greg worked through the lingering effects of the cancer treatments that robbed him of his energy, his saliva glands, and even his teeth.
I've been on a feeding tube now for 3 years, and this is how I feed myself, with the tube and a syringe.
And this is how Greg feeds himself, too.
That was the first thing I wanted to try when I walked in here, is to see if the bells still work.
Once inside, Greg found intact an 1860s interior.
It was overwhelming. We desperately need a roof.
A dust-covered museum.
The floors was all rotted out.
In need of his care.
It's going to be beautiful. It really is.
Greg has no family ties to the church, but to those who do,
Grandpa,
Greg has been a blessing. Heaven sent.
one of the beads on my rosary is reserved for him.
If you, like Blanche Zelmer, believe in the power of prayer, this next part will come as no shock.
You can't help but not think otherwise.
The old church is newly clothed in white.
It's what he's done for me.
And Greg's cancer is now in remission.
This is my way of saying thank you.
Greg can pray inside now whenever he wants, but there's something about this concrete pew.
There's been a lot of tears shed on these steps. And they've been tears of joy, tears of pain. But tears of blessing, too.
Greg Thomas is restoring the old church. That's true. But it's hard to discern who's saving who.
And that's the heart of it.
Boyd Hupert, KARE 11 News, Le Sueur County.